Alright. What's up, everybody, and welcome back. We've got a PvT series here from the ESL NA semi-finals from week 215. MAXPAX on the bottom right side of the map. Going to be going through the gate gas opening. No scout just yet. And Cure on the top left side. Playing for Team Liquid. He's been very good in non-anti-Zerg matchups, has Cure over the last year. He's got a lot of work to do against Zerg. He did have some promising builds recently, though. Now, interestingly, MAXPAX does scout. That's an odd one. Because this means if there's an engineering bay block going down, it's usually starting between a minute 5 and a minute 15. Which means it's getting a lot of build time right here. So MAXPAX is basically playing risky against that. I don't know if he'd be taking this risk if he was up against like Clem or one of these other guys that does the eBay block every second game. But luckily for him, he gets away with it. Maybe just knowing Cure's habits and that Cure doesn't like to scout so much. I like that he's keeping his probe healthy. He knows that about a minute 39 is when they can start building the command center. So he's blocking it right as the Terran's at 400 minerals. And you can see he delays it by a good 5 or 6 seconds. So well done by MAXPAX. Sees the command center, knows it's a normal build. And this was actually Marine into Reactor, interestingly. And that Marine's actually hunting. Ooh. Oh, he's going to find him too. Unless MAXPAX reacts very quickly. He did react pretty quickly. Probe gets an attack off on the Marine, does 5 damage, but does go down. The Adept will definitely head across the map. Now, you don't need to chrono boost your second Adept because you know there's no Reaper. So let's see if he does it. That means he definitely wants to just rally them to the front and be aggressive. Otherwise, he would have chronoed his main base. Twilight Council goes down. MAXPAX is going to be rallying to his expansion. Cure with an early factory. Now, this is an interesting factory placement. Because it's really bad. Is it? I guess he wants to wall off his buildings here. Put his tank there. So that the Stalkers, even if they blink there, they're already getting shot by a siege tank. Interesting building placement. 3 Marines will intercept the Adept. The Depot does block the shade and the Adept pulls back. Bit of free damage on the Marine. Never a bad idea. Oh, Robo and then second gate. It's a very quick Robo for MAXPAX. Could get him an earlier Prism for a faster 4-gate blink. MAXPAX taking a little bit more damage. Now, Adepts aren't good later on. So this is a very good trade for MAXPAX. Trading an Adept for 3 Marines is fantastic. Not only is it cost efficient, but it's just removing their units that will scale quite well for your units that won't. And it's an early Prism for the DT drop. That's what this is. Of course, I should have known that. I was like, damn, that's an early Robo. Kind of reminded me of Parting's old 4-gate blink. Oh, he actually gets the SCV! Great micro there. Cure, of course, seeing that Adept was on like 1 hit point, figured the SCV would kill it first, but very good trading from MAXPAX early on. A couple of Marines and Hellions poking forward. Medevac on the way as well, as some Widow Mines. And an extra Depot goes up on the edge of the main base. He goes Tech Lab and then Raven right afterwards. He will get the Raven not too long after the Dark Templar arrive. There's only 1 Stalker on the D for Showtime, for MAXPAX here. Almost called him Showtime. And second Stalker warps in. Prism's going to fly across, but the Prism getting spotted, I think is very good for Cure. So you'd be like, why is there a Prism so early? That's bizarre. He's not going to see the Prism rotate, though. The Prism's already snuck out north. He's going to go for a Widow Mine and 2 Marines into the main. Everything else will go home. Raven has started. And that Prism being delayed is huge because, look, the Dark Shrine's already done. MAXPAX, if he wants to warp in, he could siege up and warp in right now, but I think he's going to try to warp right into the main base. I think Q is going to barely escape any sort of serious damage here. Oh, Widow Mine does take out 3 probes and a Stalker. Very nicely done. Dark Templar at the front, 2 going for the drop as well. Look at this. Extra probes dying. Oh, so many extra probes going down to just those 2 Marines. They finally fall. Dark Templar in the main base, but there's a Raven there. Dark Templar on the natural doing the real damage. Oh, good micro by MAXPAX. MAXPAX, the king of Dark Templar micro, as he's always been. And bad micro for Cure. He should have dealt with this much earlier. SCV's coming in. DT on the natural, though. 11 kills before it goes down. Wow. And he keeps his Prism alive with 2 DTs there as well. That's massive, massive damage. Unfortunately, The Widow Mine fired again, and his entire main worker line is gone. Sorry I missed that. 13 probes in total. Damn. MAXPAX microing well on the front. Cure miss-microing for a reason. Apparently it's because he was redropping his Widow Mine and getting a big boom, and this now favors Cure in this scenario. Well, his second barracks... No, his second barracks is already up and making stim, so yeah, this is a better position for him. MAXPAX does rebuild his probes pretty quickly, but he needs that third Nexus desperately. A couple of Archons morphing, he's going to use that. If he could take out the Viking, it'd be great, but the Viking just makes it so much harder for him to drop in. Cure does take an Archon hit. You got to be careful, mate. Engineering Bay is building third gas. Very standard setup. Q is building a Liberator. Now that is bizarre. That's not what I was expecting. Oh, great Archon drop. Getting rid of the Viking gives you so much ability to just keep dropping, keep being annoying. Could go for the Tech Lab. Try and force those Marines forward, but looks like he just wants to heal up for now. Oh, he's warping in Stalkers. Is that because he wants to use those to try and attack from the low ground here? That Tech Lab is so exposed. This is what I was talking about with the building positioning before. That Tech Lab is so vulnerable with no tank covering it. This tank on the natural is really well placed. These Stalkers, they could maybe pick off one or two workers on gas, but that's about it. Elian drives in, causing issues at home for MAXPAX. Has to pull his workers back. Stalkers on the front. Back away, but he spots the Liberator. Blink is finished. Stalkers will finally take care of it, but not before the Alien gets a third probe. Archon drop goes in. Catches a few Marines. Oh my gosh, quite a lot of Marines actually. Very well done. MAXPAX is trading nicely. And if that Liberator chases him, he can drop Archons, of course. Oh, Cure. Big mistake. Big mistake for Cure just tracking that. Cure's got to clean this up, man. Stalker down there sees this drop as well. MAXPAX does get a hit or two on it, which is nice, but he will lose the Stalker. Oh, no, he doesn't. And actually, oh, Blink's ready. Oh my god, he gets some damage. Doesn't quite take the medevac out, though. Cure is quick to retreat. But this is great for MAXPAX because he's just bought himself so much time. He's got 2 full bases. He's got the third up. He's got extended thermal lance and his first Colossus about to pop. Charges coming out. 3 gateways are up. 3 more building. The shield battery goes down at the third base. Concussive is on the way. Combat shields and +1 coming in. Third command center only now starting. I would normally say this is a terrible position to be in, but I've seen Cure and a lot of these Terrans just look like their third is so late, but they just keep building so much bio. And as long as they find good fights with that bio, which obviously with this army supply advantage you can, still very dangerous in this middle stage for the Protoss. Tank tries to siege there on the high ground. Stalker's not quite able to take it down. One Stalker falls, second one very low, and it should go down. Oh, no, good blink. I like that. He just blinked a few of them. Gonna warp in more Zealots in the north of the map. Archons protecting the Colossus is huge. I feel like if you stim on top of Archon's Guardian Shield, you're going to have a terrible time. Oh, Raven! Almost gets taken out, not quite. Oh, Widow Mine does land on that. Zealot's not quite able to clear the Widow Mine. Stalker on the top goes down. Auto turret's very nice, though. That Widow Mine unable to fully burrow. That one tank in the back still going to add a nice bit of ranged firepower. And he's going to try and go in towards the natural, but that lures MAXPAX into the open. And MAXPAX has to fight this, I think, but Colossus on the south as well. Oh, come on, like 2 Stalker hits and that tank is dead. Finally gets rid of it. MAXPAX took a while to clean this up, though. I feel like this should have been a bit of a simpler hold, having 2 Colossus now with range, 2 Archons. The Widow Mines and the Bio are in the midst. Cure kind of ambushed there. Looks like he wasn't quite expecting MAXPAX to push so far out. Colossus getting some very good shots off, though. Archon does go down, but the Colossus micro is nice. 4th base is on the way. 3rd base saturated on the minerals. If he can rally to the 4th as well, that'll be amazing for him. Forge is 2/3 of the way to +1 attack. Meanwhile, 1-1's almost done for Cure. That is Cure squeezing Armory in. I don't know. He's got 5 barracks up. I would imagine Ghost Academy is next on his list. But for now, it is just Marauders, Marines, and Vikings trying to get up some answer to the Colossus. This is the only observer on this map. Q is going to scan, sees the 4th base. Army's out of position. That's a bummer. MAXPAX loses his 4th. The Widow Mine burrow into pulling back. Always a classic move. Still no armory, so those Widow Mines do always reveal themselves after firing. That observe is really big for MAXPAX. Still got a good squad of Stalkers in the main. That's 9. That's enough to one-shot medevacs. He chose that number very methodically. to make sure he got the maximum ability to stop the Doom drop in the main. Hey, great defense for Cure in his main base, trading really well. And remember, whenever you force all these small trades, you get ahead. And even though your third has just landed at the 10.5-minute mark, we see the power of a Terran who just doesn't take bad fights. Cure, so often, so late on the third, a lot of Terrans get desperate. He just calmly takes good fights and wins StarCraft games. Zealots do come in. They're getting pushed back now on the north. We've got a Marine getting diced by that Zealot. Bio Army on the south hanging out. That Ghost Academy, as I said, is on the way, as well as more Viking production. Dropping the main coming in. MAXPAX, he saw it with the Observer, and he does move his Stalkers to respond, because if you don't focus fire, you're going to get ruined there. But enough Stalkers to one-shot Medivacs. And good respect out of Cure, who gets hit by DTs. Third base DT goes down. This DT is going to kill 10 SCVs, though. Well, 10 SCVs combined. Not too bad for 2 Dark Templar. Second Forge is on the way, +2 attack. Disruptors are building one at a time now after 3 Colossus. No Warp Prism after that other one did die. Siege Tank does fall, but a few Stalkers going down to the Widow Mine. Colossus going to push this army back nicely. I like the way he shuffles his Marines to the back, does Cure. Gets himself another Stalker. Very good micro on the edge of danger here. You see, he wants that Archon, but good micro by MAXPAX. Oh, great Disruptor shot. Gets 3 Marauders. You got to be careful now. MAXPAX is really feeling it. There's 7 Medivacs on this map, but they're all in the front, which means these guys back at this base, stimming again, are very heavily damaged. Good split fire, though, to tag as many of those Zealots as he could. Gets 2 of them down. Oh, nice chase. MAXPAX chases the main army into the middle of the map. Good spready, but look at the pullback timing. If those Colossus turn and fight, the Archon could have maybe even survived there. As it is, those Marauders getting dangerously low. I think this might be a kill timing for MAXPAX. The army is just way too damaged. For Cure, if MAXPAX wanted to push right now, he could do it, but without a Warp Prism, he doesn't feel confident. His new 4th base is up. He's got +1 armor on the way, +2 almost finished. Blink DTs are here. Units lost tab now shows us a 1400 resource lost advantage for Cure. It's not too bad. 4th command center starting. 2 2s on the way, as well as ship weapons. Still 5 barracks, 1 factory, 1 starport. Very standard setup as the first 3 ghosts pop onto the map. Or, sorry, the first 3 are out. That's going to bring it up to 6 ghosts. Second robo at the 3rd base for MAXPAX. MAXPAX, oh my god, catching Cure not looking. Cure's got to be careful now that he's lost map control. Because look at this. This Observer's right up in his base. Sees where his army's rallying to. He scans thinking, oh, is there an Observer here? But he misses it. Zealots on the left, Prism ready to also warp in even more Zealots. It's a good safe Prism placement. I like this. Gonna warp in and then drop those Zealots inside the base. Cure's army moves out potentially at a bad time. Gotta watch out for the Widow Mine though. Oh, MAXPAX, watch out, mate. Oh, damn. Yeah, great snipe. Marine stim forward, take out the Prism with 2 Zealots inside. Other Zealots run into the 3rd, but they've already taken a Widow Mine hit as well. Good pullback with those SCVs. Zealots will get a few kills, but not that many. Oh my god! His army just got jumped on! I'm sorry, guys. I did not expect him to jump on the army. Big observing mistake for me. MAXPAX apparently wasn't watching, and his whole army just disappears in an instant. What in the hell? Oh my god. What? I apologize for that one, gang. That was some bad... I just did not think Cure had a kill timing. But I guess if you're not watching, your Disruptors don't fire. You get EMP'd. The Vikings blast the Colossus. Wow. What the hell? Let's rewind a little bit and look at this fight. So, I mean, he has a lot of Zealots, but not that many in the army. There's no Archons left here either. He's actually watching. But I guess MAXPAX doesn't have vision of the army. He's got, like, Zealots there, Observer here. He's got another Observer coming out of 5th base. MAXPAX just did not think he was in danger right now. And then he's on move command as well. Oh, he's on move command. And his Disruptors are all up front. Oh. Yeah, he just didn't respect the army there. A lot of his Zealots were scattered around the map. His army was not that big. And those 3 Disruptors were so important for defending him. Very well played by Cure. Really well played. Nice decisive push. And this is that weird thing where Cure can take a 3rd base so late and then still win the game with just awesome engagements. Well played. All right, that was a pretty slick game 1. I actually felt like, man, I mean, MAXPAX did over-micro his DTs a little bit in that early game. And even though, you know, obviously it looked great, there was that Widow Mine getting that 2nd shot off. Made it very awkward for MAXPAX. I still think he was in a decent spot, but we see that Cure and that the Terrans in general these days are so good at defending the Warp Prism and shutting that thing down that it's like, oh man, if you just keep losing Zealots and Warp Prisms, it gets so expensive. So I think that there's a weird thing where, like, as the Protoss, judging how committed the Terran is to an attack, because if he's really committed, you really want to go in with lots of Zealots. But if they're just kind of threatening around the map and keeping a good section of units at the rally at home, all of your Prism and Zealot run-bys are just going to be very cost inefficient, and it kind of gives the advantage to the Terran. So then you see like a minute and a half of Zealot run-bys just dying and Prisms dying, and the Protoss has basically spent 2,000 minerals of Zealots to kill like 3 SCVs or something and a Marine. And then the Terran's like, oh, I have a way scarier army than you right now, and I jump on your army and kill you, and you're like, oh, Terran overpowered, or are the Protoss players being a little bit wasteful? I think in the old days, the Prism Harass, the Zealot run-by has always got sick value. But the Terrans have gotten so good at going, well, every top Protoss does this, I'm just ready for it, that unless you create a certain amount of chaos, things can be very awkward. Now, Adept comes in. Oh. Oh! Does snipe down the SCV. Oh, Adept does go down. Okay, nice micro. Yeah, MAXPAX gets himself a SCV, a bit of mining time. It's not bad to lose an Adept for that. He's damaged the Hellion, so that has to get repaired now as well, which loses a bunch more mining time. Remember, it's only going to cost you 25 minerals to fully heal a Hellion from 1 hit point to full. But he's just lost 10 mining minerals. We could have done about 15 from now, 20. So it ends up being a good 50 extra minerals of value you get by damaging that Hellion. Dep's going to shade into the main. He sees that it's a second, and he doesn't see the third barracks, but already seeing the second barracks, no starport. You know, this is a very committed 2-base push, and 4-gate blink is already on the way. So MAXPAX is already going the build that counters this, and that's going to be very good for him. Now, if I was Cure, I would think about getting gases and engineering bay right now, and then a starport. And I wouldn't build any tanks. I'd actually just put the barracks in that tech lab, and I'd basically just play this as a macro build now. And just prepare yourself for, of course, MAXPAX to be very careful. Try to scout to see if he takes the third base. Because if you see a quick third, obviously you don't need to worry about MAXPAX being aggressive. But if MAXPAX doesn't take a quick third, then you might need to build like a bunker in your main or get a siege tank or something like that. Third gas goes down, engineering bay goes down. Yeah. So Cure, having been scouted, you can delay the gas in the engineering bay, build a siege tank or two, really commit to a big marine tank push, build bunkers, and it's a great way to punish it, like a 2-gate blink robo third base, one of these kind of greedier builds. But since your extra barracks have been scouted, you know there's very little chance of you catching MAXPAX off guard. Now, here's a Hellion and a Reaper, but there's a Stalker at home. It's going to wait for the Cyclone to come in, remember? This is... That patch that's been proposed has not come out yet. Cyclone getting some good damage. We'll take out one of these guys, but nice blink defense there. Good Reaper grenade, actually. I love that. Stalker's coming in on the other side, focusing down SCVs. Good micro for MAXPAX. He's going to lose a few probes in the main, but looks like it's only going to be about 2. Oh, the Marines come down. Oh, that was a pretty cool move. And there we go. Does blink back. He loses 2 Stalkers and 3 probes. Kills 3 SCVs, wastes a bit of mining time. MAXPAX does start his third base. Cure handling things pretty well. Stim and Shields is almost done. Coming out to the high ground for the sort of ambush there. Not a bad idea, but you do have to be careful. Stim's not ready just yet. He's got more than enough Marauders that if MAXPAX blinks in, he's going to have a terrible time. MAXPAX wisely going for the Stalker drop. And look, yeah, this is a great move. Just pick off SCVs, blink back your weak boys. Good move. It gets the Marauders out of position. So these guys now blink in, and they're going to take out 3 or 4 SCVs as well. Beautiful play. Really slick micro here for MAXPAX. 6 extra SCVs without losing any units. His third base is on the way. Charge and a Forge will go down. We'll also see a Mortal Sentry behind this, I would imagine. For now, he actually warps in more Stalkers. I don't know if that's a good move, but I guess he realizes he's got the numbers advantage right now. Focuses a Marauder down. 3 barracks with Stim is very powerful. Oh, okay. Does lose a Stalker, but 3 SCVs and a Marauder for a Stalker, not bad. There we go. Forge goes down. I expect a Mortal Sentry and +1, but MAXPAX is like, no, dude, I'm going to keep warping Stalkers in on the front. I'm doing big damage. I'm going to keep it up. He's got 19 Stalkers. Wow. 51 probes, 3 bases. An extra gateway goes down. He's going to go to 5 gate. Charge does start up. Stalkers. The way MAXPAX is so fluidly macroing and microing and forcing all these SCVs off the line is pretty nice, but doesn't get many kills there, and a Stalker does go down. Stalkers in the main are going to pick off another 2 or 3 SCVs. Just 2 for now. Third one barely survives. +1 starts up. He's going to 8 gateways. So it's 8 gate charge +1. Pure Stalker Zealot. MAXPAX is keeping things simple. He's saying, dude, I can just micro my heart out with these Stalkers. Get crazy value. Go charge. And then, no, he's not even keeping it that simple. He's taken a 4th gas and a Robo Bay as well. Oh, he's so fluid. MAXPAX has played this build so many times. I think he's the best player in the world with the 4-gate blink kind of attacking and macro transitioning all at once. He's so good at this build. Eight gateways coming up, 3 full mineral lines. Getting ready to take a 4th base as well. The 4th base is important because it basically says, hey, if you don't come and attack me, I'm going to get way too far ahead on the economy. You don't really want to build a ton of probes for it straight away or anything. You can see he's stopping on 61. He's making Immortals and Zealots and adding some sentries back at home as well now. A couple sentries for Guardian Shield and Force Fields is always great. Good Stalker micro, gets 2 Marines. That one just goes flying off the right side of our minimap. Ooh, but good chase. Gets himself a Stalker with the Stim Bio. Oh, Zealot Warping gets caught on the south, and Mancua is on cleanup duty, isn't he? The Zealots just aren't finding anything. That being said, Stalkers are going to come in, pick off a Medevac. Does lose a Stalker for it, though. Has to blink on out of there. Marauders are hot on his tail. More Zealots running in that right side. Zealot run by is going to be hard to deal with. He's trying to pull the boys, but the Zealots are going to find the boy pull. Oh, that is so good. At the same time, the Stalkers are picking off Widow Mines and units in the middle of the map. He's already killed 7 of the SCVs. That is brilliant for MAXPAX. And he's got a Colossus almost out. If that Colossus can get out, it's going to be a game changer. Zealots from behind. And look at that. He's already forcing some of the bio to stim. The Zealots are like, dude, chase me back to your base. I'm happy. Anything that delays this push is good for me. And he's got battery overcharge available behind this. The batteries, the Stalkers, the sentries. These Stalkers are already trying to bait out Stim. They weren't able to, but the Widow Mines are heavily damaged. The Widow Mines mostly going to be getting picked off, I think, before they can get in the ground. Indeed, they do. And with the battery overcharge, the Stalkers, the sentries, the Immortal. Fantastic engagement for MAXPAX. His Zealots even came in from behind, joined up. And that is a clinical play for MAXPAX. Cure making that one vital mistake at about 3.5 minutes, I think it was. Letting an Adept into his base to see everything he's doing. You can't be making these mistakes, man. This is a build you need to keep secret. But the moment he realized what he was up against, MAXPAX was in a really good spot. To be fair, MAXPAX was already playing 4-gate blink, so it was already good for him, and that's a wise build on a small map like this where Terran tends to get more aggressive. But then MAXPAX, seeing what he was up against as well, gave him all the information, and his execution from here was just fantastic. Very well played. All right, guys, we've got Cura in the top right side here. Getting harassed on his expansion. Blind 1-Rax expand. Marine first. Which is a very efficient build, but it's also a build where the Protoss just doesn't have to deal with anything. Okay, good rotation of the unit up there. Oh, it's factory very fast as well. This is going to be a factory reactor opening. He's not sneaking an SCV out, so it's not proxy starport. You'd already want to have your SCV headed over to this left side of the map to proxy that. If you want to do it with a Hellion drop. Early Adept getting chrono boosted for MAXPAX. Hecate is an interesting map. It's got great choke points and tank positions and stuff, but also kind of hard to swarm over and surround a Protoss force. Thank you very much for the support, guys. Activating a hype train there on the live stream. Thank you, Senju, for the subby sub. Still haven't figured out how to turn off hype train noises. When everything else is muted, that one still always plays, which I'm fine with. Okay, yeah, Starport goes home. It's kind of a forward Starport, though. Q has been doing some very forward building placement, hasn't he, guys? And he's going to go 2 Hellions to start. Command Center saves the SCV, but that means you're losing orbital building time right now. So notice the Adept stays there, because he wants to see if the SCV pops out and goes to hide. MAXPAX knows the longer he stays here, the longer he delays the orbital from making. Hellions do pop out. Adept shades away. Second Adept is here, though. You got to be careful about fighting those 2 Adepts with those Hellions. 2 Widow Mines coming out behind it. So it's going to be a Widow Mine drop, and it looks like he's going to go build a depot on the edge of his base. 2 Hellions and a Marine should be enough to fight this, but it's obviously going to be a close fight. Extra SCVs being pulled in just to make sure it doesn't get out of control. 2 SCVs do go down. Nice pullback on that weak one. He's going to look for 1 more SCV, and he does get it. So 3 SCVs there for 2 Adepts. Most importantly, you've seen both Hellions and Widow Mines, so you know exactly what you're up against. MAXPAX is going to play 4-gate Blink yet again. Robo has gone down as well. Not a bad way to play it. That depot is going up in the corner. And I mean, losing SCVs early does impact your economy. You know, it's a lot of mining time you end up losing. Widow Mine drop moving to the left. Hey, thank you so much, Jeffity. Welcome to the Pigsty, my dude. Thanks for the sub. Give you guys some proper props in between the games or the series. This is a best of 3, so this game's going to decide this semi-final. See who gets to that finals. 2 Hellions to try and distract on the natural, but a Stalker will easily defend that. And then a 4 Widow Mine drop. No armory, though. He's just going to wait for boost to be ready. Got about 4 seconds left. There we go. And he's going to fly in on that edge. Boost is available, and he activates it. Ignite Afterburners. Medevac dropping in behind the mineral line. Going to drop 4 Widow Mines there. Okay, so he's going to do some juggling, I believe. First Widow Mine does go down. Blink is not quite ready. There we go. MAXPAX. With some slick Blink control. Look at the way he blinks forward to deny the Medevac as well. Only 1 Widow Mine save. That was a really slick defense. Now, leaving only 1 Stalker there, it's going to take 5 shots, I think, to kill that Medevac. So, I say 5. I'm not that good at numbers, am I? I think 4 times 18 will kill that, actually. 4 Stalker shots. So I'd probably leave 2 just to make sure I can kill that Medevac very quickly. But I think MAXPAX really wants to get his own aggression going. And yeah, he's got that forward building placement we kind of talked about. The tank is there, ready to fire on him immediately. I like the SCV out front. Quickly pull the SCVs. Q, you can't lose the bunker, mate. Oh no, the whole point of that SCV was to give you warning. But he didn't pull the SCVs to repair. Tank does pop out, gets a good shot off though. The tank should stabilize his position. Q can't go too far forward with this tank though. If he loses that tank, he's in big doo-doo. Oh, he's going to blink on the siege tank. MAXPAX goes for broke. It does sacrifice quite a lot of Stalkers to do so. 10 SCVs go down. Looks like 5 probes did die in the main base behind this. And the Medevac survived, so it's going to drop 2 Hellions now. But remember, guys, 5 Stalkers have died. But he's able to warp them in again quickly. 4 Stalkers at a time. That 2 Hellion drop is a desperate attempt for Cure to slow down MAXPAX. Oh no, no tank sieged. He gets caught with none of his tanks sieged. Hellions driving to the main base. 2 Stalkers are responding. And MAXPAX should be able to shut those down with minimal probe losses. He only loses 2. Stalkers at the front have disengaged. SCVs trying to repair each other. Trying to repair anything they can. 30 SCVs to 37. He needs a second tank and he needs it soon. Those Stalkers are just going to dive on it. MAXPAX with absolutely no chill. The Raven will fall. He's going to try and get out of there. Cure doing some good damage to these Stalkers. Oh, that was actually amazing damage. He just killed so many. 11 Stalkers have gone down. But there's only 1 tank alive, and as long as that tank counts low, you are vulnerable. Stim has just started. Stalker drop's going to go to the right side. 3rd Nexus has started. Probes are building. A 6-worker advantage for the Protoss player. Stim wasn't that far along, but nonetheless very irritating to be losing that upgrade. Oh, Marines without tank support are so bad against Stalkers, man. They need Stim or Siege tanks or something like that. Siege tank, Stalker, sorry, does get surrounded up top, which was kind of funny. And these Stalkers are just going to rotate around here, fighting as best they can, trying to pick off these units. Picking off Marines now as well. There is a Siege tank there. The tank is in range of those Stalkers. Stalkers kind of going for a bit of a YOLO here. Bit of a drunken move, I think, from MAXPAX. Kind of overcommitting with his Stalkers, and there's actually a lot of Marines now. MAXPAX maybe getting a bit too fancy here. But he's done an immense amount of damage. 26 SCVs have gone down. His 3rd is up. He's up 12 workers. No Stim started. No 3rd command center started. How is Cure? Do you have a counterattack across the map? That's the problem. Forge goes down behind this. He's building an observer or 2 as well to back this up. And the tank only covers here, which means the Stalkers could move into the gas line and start picking away. Tanking a few Marines in that main base. Oh. Nice Stalker micro so far. On the right side, he tries to blink in. The Marine tank does defend up that side. And a couple of SCVs for a Stalker. Better defense that time around for Cure, who's now building a Liberator. I think it's just his way of doing a low APM counterattack, but A lot of players really struggle in this scenario because they end up F2ing home. I wouldn't be surprised to see that Liberator come back to defend this. 3 SCVs in the main going down. Marines trying to get on top of the Prism, but the Prism Stalker, it's enough Stalkers to one-shot the Marines. Look at that, he's picking off so many of them. And he does get on out of there. A few Marines, 3 SCVs, and mining time. There are 3 siege tanks up. I think the Blink Harass stage has finished, but MAXPAX has established a 20-worker lead. Robo Bay's on the way. He's got 4 more gateways, so that's going to be 8 gates, plus 1 charge. He's got all the tools that he needs. Observer does get taken down. Remember, the Raven died earlier, so we had to use a scan for that. Stim and Shields have both started. Kua realizing he's got to get the Protoss out of his side of the map. Easier said than done, though, of course. Prism does recall home, unloads his Stalkers, ready to stop this frontal push. Where'd that Liberator go, guys? Oh, main base. Got 1 probe, denied a bit of mining, but 3 Stalkers warp in. They're ready to deal with that. Another Liberator on the front. Oh, damn. Kua is still building Liberators. He's so all in right now. Kua is so committed. There's a force field available. MAXPAX wisely pulls back, only takes a single siege tank shot. SCVs? Yep, pulling a bunch of SCVs as well. Kua realizes this is not a game he can win in the long term, but look at this. Zealot flank getting ready. Those Zealots are going to obliterate these tanks, man. Especially if he can battery overcharge, fight with his units here, tank a lot of the damage while the Zealots flank in. Yeah, this is going to be it. Time to go. Go time. It's go time for MAXPAX. First bunker gets cancelled. Look at that. Zealots on the north. Stalker Immortal battery overcharge there. The Liberator gets picked off. The Zealots actually from the north a little bit slow, but they finally do get in on top. More Zealots warping in next to that battery. The Immortal and the Stalker doing well. The Zealots just shredding those unupgraded Marines. Combat Shields finally kicks in. Stim was there before that, but Stim, no attack upgrade, no shields, not enough for Kua. And Kua gets ripped apart by MAXPAX. Delicious 4-gate blink aggression. GG, well played. MAXPAX wins 2-1.